Good evening and welcome to the May 27th, 2025 board meeting of Selma Unified School District. This meeting is now in session. The time is 5:30 p.m. Roll call. Mr. Fedor?
Here.
Mrs. Kessler?
Here.
Mrs. Dorte?
Here.
Mr. Medina?
Here.
And I'm here myself. Approval of agenda. May I have a motion to accept this agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Open forum for a closed session. The notice of the public comment is on closed session agenda items. This is opportunities provided in accordance with the Government Code Section 54954.3 to allow the public to comment prior to the board consideration of any closed session agenda item. We will now into the closed session and we will be back around 6 p.m.
I like writing the most and reading
Why is that?
because I love reading in 2 languages and I love writing in 2 languages.
I wish people would know that the dual language immersion program is an investment in their child's future. It is giving the child the gift of biliteracy, the gift of knowing the value and the beauty of diversity in other cultures and the different people that surround us.
What blend does it have?
BL.
And what sound do those make?
Ooh.
Good job.
El valor de la inmersión dual es que estamos reconociendo el idioma que ellos ya traían como una habilidad muy valiosa que les va a poder ayudar en su futuro. Eso significa que ahorita en la escuela están desarrollando el idioma a otro nivel, que en otras escuelas no lo hay.
It really does open up their doors to not only exposure to different cultures, but also like the academic rigor, where they're reading, writing, and speaking in 2 different languages. And it's not everyday vocabulary, it's academic vocabulary, and I know sometimes it's intimidating because it's rigorous, but they're able to do it.
Podría ser construir. Es un verbo.
What biliteracy means is that students will be able to read, write, listen, and speak in both languages, but at proficient levels, meaning that they truly are biliterate. They can pick up a book, they can sit in a conversation, they can write a response in both languages fluently. Everyone. We have many studies that have shown that students in dual language immersion are able to access different parts of the brain, which enables higher levels and deeper levels of academic achievement. So we're talking about 5th, 6th grade. That's when you start to see them attaining higher levels than their monolingual peers.
It feels good because I can help my dad talk English because he comes from Mexico and he only knows Spanish. Que puedo escuchar los 2 idiomas porque tengo un amigo que solo habla español y ya tengo la confianza a decirle español.
Una de las cosas más bonitas que he visto en los alumnos es que sino que al estar en un grupo con el que han trabajado desde hace 3 grados hasta el día de hoy, les hace sentir que están como en una familia. Y yo veo que hay muchos alumnos que les gusta compartir el conocimiento que ya tienen, les gusta apoyar y les gusta levantar a otros.
My students, they're very confident in almost anything they do. And I think it's because they're in a classroom sometimes when the teacher's reading or giving instructions in a language that they're still trying to learn, they learn to persevere.
The biggest difference I've seen comparing dual language immersion students and students that are in English-only classrooms is that level of confidence.
Yo a veces cuando estoy en la clase a mi maestra dice quiero que hable más español y hablo más con ellos y en la familia hablo más inglés pero también español porque mi abuela habla español nomás.
My students feel empowered and they feel valuable because now they appreciate and respect and they accept more languages, cultures, and identities. And that's what you have in dual immersion. You don't lose anything, you just acquire more.
At Selma Unified, we're more than a school district.
We are a community united in our commitment to every student's success.
We provide a nurturing environment where students thrive academically and socially.
From innovative instruction to valuable enrichment programs, we offer
a wide range of opportunities for every student to excel.
We inspire minds and shape futures.
Together, we are
Together,
We are Selma Unified.
We are Selma Unified.
Together, we are Selma Unified.
I like writing the most and reading
Why is that?
because I love reading in 2 languages and I love writing in 2 languages.
I wish people would know that the dual language immersion program is an investment in their child's future. It is giving the child the gift of biliteracy, the gift of knowing the value and the beauty of diversity in other cultures and the different people that surround us.
what blend does it have?
BL.
And what sound do those make?
Boom.
Good job.
El valor de la inmersión dual es que estamos reconociendo el idioma que ellos ya traían como una habilidad muy valiosa que les va a poder ayudar en su futuro. Eso significa que ahorita en la escuela están desarrollando el idioma a otro nivel, que en otras escuelas no lo hay.
It really does open up their doors to not only exposure to different cultures, but also like the academic rigor, where they're reading, writing, and speaking in 2 different languages. And it's not everyday vocabulary, it's academic vocabulary. And I know sometimes it's intimidating because it's rigorous, but they're able to do it.
Podría ser construir. Es un verbo.
What biliteracy means is that students will be able to read, write, listen, and speak in both languages, but at proficient levels, meaning that they truly are biliterate. They can pick up a book, they can sit in a conversation, they can write a response in both languages fluently. Everyone. We have many studies that have shown that students in dual language immersion are able to access different parts of the brain, which enables higher levels and deeper levels of academic achievement. So we're talking about 5th, 6th grade. That's when you start to see them attaining higher levels than their monolingual peers.
It feels good because I can help my dad talk English because he comes from Mexico and he only knows Spanish. Que puedo escuchar los 2 idiomas porque tengo un amigo que solo habla español y ya tengo la confianza a decirle español.
Una de las cosas más bonitas que he visto en los alumnos es que sino que al estar en un grupo con el que han trabajado desde hace 3 grados hasta el día de hoy, les hace sentir que están como en una familia. Y yo veo que hay muchos alumnos que les gusta compartir el conocimiento que ya tienen, les gusta apoyar y les gusta levantar a otros.
My students, they're very confident in almost anything they do. And I think it's because they're in a classroom sometimes when the teacher's reading or giving instructions in a language that they're still trying to learn, they learn to persevere.
The biggest difference I've seen comparing dual language immersion students and students that are in English-only classrooms is that level of confidence.
Yo a veces cuando estoy en la clase a mi maestra dice quiero que hable más español y hablo más con ellos y en la familia hablo más inglés pero también español porque mi abuela habla español nomás.
My students feel empowered and they feel valuable because now they appreciate and respect and they accept more languages, cultures, and identities. And that's what you have in dual immersion. You don't lose anything, you just acquire more.
At Selma Unified, we're more than a school district.
We are a community united in our commitment to every student's success.
We provide a nurturing environment where students thrive academically and socially.
From innovative instruction to valuable enrichment programs, we offer
A wide range of opportunities for every student to excel.
We inspire minds and shape futures. Together, we are.
Together,
We are Selma Unified.
We are Selma Unified.
Together, we are Selma Unified.
Good evening and welcome everyone to the May 27th, 2025 regular board meeting of Selma Unified School District. This Board of Trustees will now reconvene in an open session. And roll call, Mr. Fedor.
Here.
Mrs. Kessler. Here. Mrs. Dorte.
Here.
And Mr. Medina.
Here.
And flag salute. Mr. Medina, could you lead us for the flag salute?
We all stand. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. A report of a closed session. When in the closed session, the board didn't take any actions on it. We're going to be continuous in the closed session after our regular board meeting. We're going to start with our school report. There's none school report.
No, they are full of
fall.
activities and leaving for the summer, so no student board today.
All right. Student performance, student showcase, Roosevelt Elementary School.
Yes, we have proud to recognize our, first of all, Selma High School, Elizabeth Francis. We're going to do that one first. That's a new entry. For taking first place in a state mechanics competition. Is she here today? Oh, fantastic. Oh, there you are. So we're proud to recognize Selma High School senior Elizabeth Francis has made history in becoming the first female winner of the agriculture mechanics competition at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo State Finals. Elizabeth competed against students statewide in a field that combines multiple technical skills, all within a single co-ed division, and she won first place. The Ag Mechanics competition challenges participants in 6 areas: tool identification, test knowledge, electric skills, welding, problem solving, cutting cold metal. There are no separate divisions for boys and girls, only one category where all participants compete together. This is a huge honor for Elizabeth and our Selma High FFA program. Let's once again congratulate Elizabeth and invite her up. She's already up.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We really appreciated you for your hard work on FFA. And you want to say something to the future kids? Is the mic is off?
No, it's on.
Yeah, this was something, my brothers did it when they were in high school, and both of them did really well competing. And it's something I had been working towards since they were in high school 7 years ago. So it was a goal of mine that I worked really hard on. Ask anybody really that knows me how many hours I practiced. It was a lot, but it was definitely worth it, and I'm thankful for everyone that helped me at the school and at my house and helped me get there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give it a round
Thank
of
you.
applause.
So Elizabeth, if you don't mind hanging around after, we'll have some pictures. We're going to have the student showcase with Roosevelt here in a second, and we have some refreshments, celebration, and some pictures we'd like to be a part of still, so just hold off for a little bit. Okay.
All right, now we're going to go back to the student showcase.
Yeah, tonight we're excited to feature Roosevelt Elementary as our student showcase. This drama club at Roosevelt Elementary will present a preview of their musical, We Are Monsters. Here to introduce the drama club is Roosevelt principal Beth Doyle and drama teacher Shelley Lanier.
Good evening, Board President Sahota, board members, Superintendent Gomes, and Executive Cabinet. It is an absolute distinguished honor this evening to showcase Roosevelt's Drama Club. We are eternally grateful to Shelley Lanier, who oversees our drama production. And at this time, I would like to invite Mrs. Lanier up to introduce our group this evening. So sit back and enjoy a little bit about what our production will be this Thursday evening.
Thank you so much for having us. I just want to also say thank you for supporting the performing arts here in Selma. And we are a program that is been going on for a little while, but we grow each and every year and get better and better each year. They have been practicing 2 days a week this whole year, working really hard on this production. We will perform it Thursday night. You're welcome to come, free admission, 6 o'clock in the Roosevelt cafeteria. And we are excited for next year and what is coming up for next year. So thank you for having us. Okay.
Great job, guys. Amazing.
Wow, what a great performance. Yeah, thanks to the teachers and students and obviously their parents, put this to so much. Yeah, great job. Great job. We're going to take a pause.
Yeah, a little 3 to 5 minute pause. They're going to get some food and we can take some pictures here. So we'll take a quick little pause and be right up starting.
I like writing the most and reading.
Why is that?
Because I love reading in 2 languages and I love writing in 2 languages.
I wish people would know that the dual language immersion program is an investment in their child's future. It is giving the child the gift of biliteracy, the gift of knowing the value and the beauty of diversity in other cultures and the different people that surround us.
What blend does it have?
BL.
And what sound do those make?
Boo.
Good job.
El valor de la inmersión dual es que estamos reconociendo el idioma que ellos ya traían como una habilidad muy valiosa que les va a poder ayudar en su futuro. Eso significa que ahorita en la escuela están desarrollando el idioma a otro nivel, que en otras escuelas no lo hay.
It really does open up their doors to not only exposure to different cultures, but also like the academic rigor, where they're reading, writing, and speaking in 2 different languages. And it's not everyday vocabulary, it's academic vocabulary, and I know sometimes it's intimidating because it's rigorous, but they're able to do it.
Podría ser construir. Es un verbo.
What biliteracy means is that students will be able to read, write, listen, and speak in both languages, but at proficient levels, meaning that they truly are biliterate. They can pick up a book, they can sit in a conversation, they can write a response in both languages fluently.
Everyone.
We have many, many studies that have shown that students in dual language immersion are able to access different parts of the brain, which enables higher levels and deeper levels of academic achievement. So we're talking about 5th, 6th grade. That's when you start to see them attaining higher levels than their monolingual peers.
It feels good because I can help my dad talk English because he comes from Mexico and he only knows Spanish. Que puedo escuchar los 2 idiomas porque tengo un amigo que solo habla español y ya tengo la confianza a decirle español.
Una de las cosas más bonitas que he visto en los alumnos es que sino que al estar en un grupo con el que han trabajado desde hace 3 grados hasta el día de hoy, les hace sentir que están como en una familia. Y yo veo que hay muchos alumnos que les gusta compartir el conocimiento que ya tienen, les gusta apoyar y les gusta levantar a otros.
My students, they're very confident in almost anything they do. And I think it's because they're in a classroom sometimes when the teacher's reading or giving instructions in a language that they're still trying to learn, they learn to persevere.
The biggest difference I've seen comparing dual language immersion students and students that are in English-only classrooms is that level of confidence.
Yo a veces cuando estoy en la clase, a mi maestra dice, quiero que hable más español y hablo más con ellos. Y en la familia hablo más inglés, pero también español porque mi abuela habla español nomás.
My students feel empowered and they feel valuable because now they appreciate and respect and they accept more languages, cultures, and identities. And that's what you have in dual immersion. You don't lose anything, you just acquire more.
The board is back in session. All right, we're gonna move into the public inputs. Member of the public wishing to address the Board of Education on a matter within the jurisdiction of the board but do not on this agenda may do so during the public comments period for up to 3 minutes. Public comments on the specific agenda items are heard under that item. From the public record, please say your name, or do we have any comments this evening, Mr. Superintendent?
There are none.
There's none. All right, we're gonna move into the discussion action item. Superintendent Valley ROP Annual Board Meeting, Board Report. Representative Fabrizio Lafaro, BROP Superintendent.
Yeah, we're pleased to present and welcome Fabrizio Lafaro, Superintendent of Valley ROP. Fabrizio is here to present the Valley ROP Annual Board Report and share highlights of the impact work and the amazing work being done to prepare our students for college and career success. And our partnership with VROP is very important, and it creates a real nice bond with us and Selma Unified. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Gomes.
Thank you.
Mr. President of the board, Mrs. Sarjota, members of the board, members of the cabinet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for letting me present this. It's going to be an uphill battle now because I can't match Ms. Frenson, and then the elementary kids wanted to be monsters, so I promise I won't sing, okay? But it's great to see all the students succeeding, and you should have in front of you our annual report. I try to assemble everything we do in a year, and we update every page. But what I like to do, I like to start on page number 10, right at the beginning of the report. And on page 10, so Valley ROP traditionally, for the last 27 years, we were in Sanger, and the board voted for us to move to Reedley, and the reason for that was to be more centralized to our JPA. We have 7 school districts that we do our services with, and so I just put a map in there, and you can see the central location, the schools that we serve, and the districts, and we're very excited about that, and what we're doing that. On page 14, it's our Valley ROP by the numbers, I call it. We updated this every year, and to me, data and numbers speak loudly. We're serving almost 11,000 students between 7th grade and high school. Over 5,000 students this year have been enrolled in dual enrollment classes for career technical education with State Center Community College. And I'll show you the number for Selma High School. There's a lot of students who are also enrolled in that. Also, before I continue, I want to also acknowledge and I want to thank all the school sites that we work with. Selma High School, Abraham Lincoln Middle School, Heartland High School, and all the administrators, counselors that we do a lot of work with, Mr. Lane, Yolanda Jimenez Ruiz, and Ms. Carmody. We do a lot of work, and I want to appreciate all the communication, all the things that we do together. So we have 179 teachers and staff that work for Valley ROP, part-time, full-time, and all the different sites. We offer 271 sections of dual enrollment. And this was the most that we've ever done this year. On page 18, I just want to show you something really quick as our mobile, I call it mobile fleet. And we do a lot of career technical programs with these. We take them to the middle schools. The students are able to see either a welding unit or our ambulance, our firefighting unit, our crime science units, investigations. So we're bringing the labs to them. We do that with the middle schools, and we also do this with the high schools when they do their work-based learning on site. And so we have 7 of these mobile units that we take around, and has been very successful for especially the lower grades to actually being exposed to these units. I'm going to skip a couple of tabs, and I'm going to go straight to the page 39. On page 39, we have courses and enrollment, and I wanted to highlight at Selma High School, this is duplicated enrollment, but at between Selma High School, Heartland High School, and Abraham Lincoln, We have 1,700 students who enrolled in all the different CTE courses and pathways. 1,700, this is duplicated. But at the same time, we have seen a tremendous interest from the students to wanting to be exposed, and I appreciate the board, Mr. Gomes, and the administration to be open-minded to continue to reach out to the students and give them opportunities. I can tell you, my son goes to a high school, and they only have 3 pathways. We have 18 pathways at Selma High School. When you talk about choice, there's a choice for every student, and every student can be exposed to several pathways. On that page, on page 39, you can see if the classes do enrolled, if it meets A through G, which all of them do. There's simulated work-based learning, internships, and then student-led enterprises. And the Heartland program, this year was the first year we did our wildland firefighting program with Heartland, and it was a great success for the students to have the same opportunity that the students are having at the comprehensive high school. Any questions so far? I'm going to skip to page 94, and I'm going to finish there with the bulk of some of the information. Page 94, I put together what I call it what's new, or what we've done this year, starting from last April to about April 2025. On page 94, you can see this is general. We've done a lot of training with teachers in a lot of different areas with our CTE teachers, from AI to EMR, our CPR training refresher, the AWS certifications, the American Welding Society certifications that we've done. We have expanded that to every different campus. On page 96, where it says work-based learning, we've had students from Selma High School have been able to participate in 2 programs. They're very great program. One is called the ITAP program, and the other one was the Jumpstart. Ms. Frenson was actually part of the Jumpstart program last summer. She got paid $1,000 as a junior to participate with the Jumpstart program. It was a stipend. They went to Ridley College for 3 weeks, and they were exposed to several pathways there, and they got a stipend for that. As well, for the ITAP program, this is a program we do with Fresno City College. There are 6 students who have been selected this year out of 12 in the whole JPA. Out of 7 school districts, 6 are from Selma. They're getting paid $3,500 this summer to do an internship with the ITAP program, and they have a direct access to either the Fire Academy, the welding program, or the EMT program at Fresno City College. So not only they're doing a 200 hours paid internship by Valley RP, but they have a priority registration with those programs. We expanded the middle school programs. We have a CTE ESL program now for adults that we do for CNA, welding, CNA, heavy equipment operators, and for wildland firefighting. We expanded the paraprofessional certifications for adults and for high school students here at Selma Adult and Selma High School. And on page 98, just wanted to show that I was able, every year I go to Sacramento and I go visit legislators to make sure that they understand how important CTE is. And I brought a student from Selma this year. I brought Justine Puente. She's a senior in our wildland firefighting program, and I'll tell you, she was so professional. We visited 6 different legislators, and she was on the money every time. Her speech, I told her, you got 1 minute, and it was 1 minute exact. She said the same thing every time, and she was so professional. Side note on that, they heard that we were there, and the governor's office wanted to meet them. So we actually got to see, not the governor, but we got to see the deputy governor, and we spent about an hour with him. And he talked to the students the whole time. So Justine got to experience that, which is really, really amazing. And then just to finish on that, on page 103, I wanted to highlight a few things with students Harris Construction, we have a program with Harris Construction. They're going to be hiring Marcos Rocha. He's a student, he's a senior here at Selma High School, went through the construction program, manufacturing program. And he's going to be doing a summer internship, 12-week paid summer internship, and then they're going to be hiring him part-time as he goes to college. We're redoing the SKF, the Selma, Kingsburg, and Fowler water sanitation internships this summer as well. And for our wildland firefighting program, we have 7 students who are getting, again, summer internships. Aaron Martinez, he's one of our students who took the wildland firefighting program. He's a senior, and he already left for his summer job with the Forest Service. He is one of the first students I can remember in probably about 10 years that got hired as a hot shot by the Forest Service. Now, the hot shots are usually the men and women, they're fighting fire on the first line. And they're sleeping out in the woods, and they're spending about 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and he got hired directly out of the program. Sebastian Flores, he's going to be going to the Fire Academy. Justin Puentes is going to go to the Fire Academy. Evelina Florilan is going to go to the Wildland Firefighter Academy at Ridley College. Brisiera Moran is going to be an EMT, and she's going to get into the ITAP program. Christopher Rodriguez, manufacturing and welding, and Christopher Oblea, also in the manufacturing program and welding program with Fresno City College. So a lot of really good things. Tiger Romp, which is our CTE competition. The students at Selma High did great. I have on page 106, you can see all the placements that they did. Close second, close, almost first, but close second for this year for Selma High School. First for fourth place, second place, and 7 third places for Selma High School. And then just wanted to highlight the Selma High School ambassadors who represented a couple weeks ago at our ambassador dinner, Selma Unified. I can't speak more about these 2 ladies, Brianna Capetillo and Kennedy Carrasco. They're so professional and mature and leaders. We selected based on their leadership skills. Kennedy Carrasco was one of those students who, again, very just so mature and represented Selma High School so well with Brianna. 2 students out of the 20 students of the ambassador. And then last but not least, adult school. And we continue to do a lot of programs with the adult school program. CNA, paraprofessional, wildland firefighting, EMT, heavy equipment operators, all programs and classes that are needed. What we do, we do very short CTE training with the adults between 5 to 13 weeks. And within those 5 to 13 weeks, we want to finish and we want them to get their certifications and go to work. And we keep the cost very low. The cost is augmented with AB 104, which is a California Adult Ed grant. And we're able to provide classes for the community that it's a very affordable cost. And that's the goal. And so, any questions?
Thank you presenting the reports. We really appreciate it. I know the Kings Canyon school districts, they started a new program for the body shops, painting or something. Is it? How is that successful?
Yes. So we're starting in Reedley. The body shop and paint regional class for high school students. We're looking at starting in spring of 2026 because we're putting the shop together. And so that's going to be another opportunity for the students who go to Reedley to take an additional course if they are interested in learning more about auto collision and body repair.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm pretty excited about that, Mr. Sawada, because we don't have anything like that in our region. And so for students to be exposed to that, we've piloted with some students from Reedley High School this year, and the interest is there. So we're putting the shop together. So I was hoping we could start in fall 2025, but we're gonna have to wait until spring of 2026.
You see any of that in our program where you think that the kids could less, or we need to worry about it, or anything like that, or?
No, I can tell you that the breadth of diversity and pathways that you guys are offering at Selma High School, it's top notch as far as comparison here in the Central Valley. And I'm talking about Fresno County, Madera County, Tulare County. We're expanding in a way the patient care pathway, not only with the CNA program, but also with the medical assistant program. It's going to be all dual enroll with Fresno City College. That's another great pathway that really shows students another way of getting into the medical field, and we want these students to continue on. We hope these students can work as medical assistants while they go to college, but really we want them to go into biology, pre-med, nursing, anything that has to deal with the medical field. And so that's going to be a very unique program. And a program that right now, the only public entity that offers a medical assistant program in Fresno County is Fresno City College. They can only take 50 students per year as far as cohort. Okay, all the other programs in the Central Valley are private. For a medical assistant program to cost $30,000, I think I will never tell anybody to do something like that, right, for $30,000. Well, the students at Selma High can take the medical assistant program from Fresno City College at Selma High and graduate with the same requirements, on the same certification, the same college credits, and then move on for free. Wow. So that's going to be huge. So, and again, there's a lot of anatomy and physiology embedded in that. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of components that students are going to then use once they go to college. So that's our goal. The medical assisting is sort of the vessel to take them, hey, let's do some hands-on and learn this way as much as learning on the rigor for the book side and for the dual enrollment side of it.
That's great. Well, thank you for Razio for presenting again this annual board reports, and also it was nice and enjoyable to see the celebration of Ambassadors Night. Do those graduations, those were 21 top performing high school seniors from 8 school districts. Then congratulations again to Brenna and our students, and Kennedy, Crosco. Thank you to our Selma High School. And also thank you to the VROP partnership with the Selma Unified School District. We really appreciate it, and providing the most vocational training for our students and for the adults. And this is benefits not only the students, well as to our city of Selma. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabrizio. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next year is going to be 55 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
55 years our JPA, our joint power agreement with.
Wow.
We need a big banquet or celebration now.
I know. I want to finish the year, and then we'll think about it. Give me a couple of days in the summer. We'll plan it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, we will move into the Ed Services Dual Languages Immersion Program.
Yes, thank you. I would like to invite Dr. Karina Diaz, who will be sharing the work done in support of our dual language immersion program. Dr. Diaz.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, Board President Sahota, board members, Superintendent Gomes, and Executive Cabinet. My name is Karina Diaz, and I have the honor and the pleasure of presenting on our dual language immersion program tonight. So first and foremost, our dual language immersion program is grounded on our district's mission and vision to ensure that we are providing challenging, rigorous, and relevant instruction to all of our students so that they are college and career ready when they exit our district. Our program is currently held at Eric White, and it is focused on developing literacy in 2 languages for all of our students, English and Spanish. Our program is a 90-10 model, which I will explain in the next slide in detail what that means. Currently, we are in kindergarten to 3rd grade, adding a grade level each year as our cohort moves on. Our current enrollment is 70 students. And our program goals are grounded in the guiding principles for dual language education, which is based on the research from the Center of Applied Linguistics. Our instructional design, like I said, is a 90-10 model. What that means is that in the beginning grades of kindergarten and first grade, 90% of instruction is in the target language of Spanish, while 10% of instruction is in English. As you see, as we go to the next grade level, second grade, we start to diminish the percentage in Spanish and increasing it in English. So in second grade, we have 80% of instruction in Spanish, while 20% of instruction is in English. Third grade, we have 70-30, fourth grade, 60-40, until we reach fifth and sixth grade, where it becomes a 50-50 model. You have 50% of the instruction in Spanish and 50% of the instruction in English. Our program was established in the 22-23 school year, beginning with kindergarten and first grade, adding a grade level each year. Like I said, we're currently in third grade, and this fall, we will be welcoming our very first fourth grade classroom. One exciting document that we have been working on collaboratively with our teachers, and I believe you guys have it in front of you, is our expected educational outcomes document. What this document does is create clarity of understanding what can we expect students to know and be able to do in literacy, reading and writing, by grade level, by language. So what literacy goals do we have in that 90% Spanish and in that 10% English? So this is something that we've been developing together to not only have clarity of understanding and something that we can share with our educational partners and our parents as we're describing the program, but also alignment across our grade levels so that we make sure that our grades build upon each other. So here we're also determining assessments for progress monitoring, and in addition to that, the program entrance criteria for our students. We know all K-1 students are eligible to attend this program, and newcomer students that have Spanish literacy, and any students with foundational skills in Spanish, there are also criteria for that. So this is what this document is attempting to do. So in K2, we have a strong focus in our DLI program to develop the Spanish language. As we move into the upper grades, that focus begins to change and shift into content development. So we have here our district interim results for our third grade students, as third grade is the first grade that will be taking the state assessment this spring. We are beginning to see how our students are doing in comparison to our EL students and all other third grade students in the district interim. Again, they will be the first ones to take the state assessment here very shortly. One of the big things that we're doing is really trying to promote our program so that we can grow our program. So in our attempts to do that, we've updated our brochure, as you guys have a copy of that as well. In our brochure, we're outlining the benefits of the program goals, the pillars of DLI, and the latest and greatest news is that we will be providing site-to-site transportation for students that do not attend Eric White but are interested in attending our program. So that means that if a student from Terry or a student from Roosevelt that wishes to attend the program but does not have transportation, this fall, we will be providing site-to-site transportation to Eric White. So that's been something that we've been promoting during our open house, through our brochure, but also we've been showcasing our poster boards with samples of the student work, showcasing their biliteracy. Another amazing thing that we were able to do, and I have it here, we could pass it around in a minute, is you see a picture of the Seal of Biliteracy medal, which is really, really nice. This is a medal that's given to all of our 12th grade students that are able to demonstrate biliteracy in another language. So dual immersion is another pathway to that biliteracy. Today, we also have the honor and pleasure of having two very special guests that will be coming up in about 30 seconds here. We have Juliet Chavez, a third grade EO, English only student. That means she is learning Spanish as her second language. She will be coming up here and showcasing her biliteracy in Spanish, and she will be followed by Mr. Juan Sanchez, one of the originators of our DLI program, who currently teaches first grade DLI. So Juliet and Mr. Sanchez, if you guys can come up.
Juliet Chávez y yo voy a decir un poquito sobre nuestra clase. Nosotros somos muy inteligentes por ser bilingüe. Ser bilingüe nos va a ayudar mucho en el futuro porque cuando estábamos trabajando hay algunas personas que solo hablan español, entonces lo puedo ayudar. También mi abuelita solo habla español, entonces si son en un restaurante, lo puedo traducir para ella. También mis maestras y maestros, que se llaman maestra Ayin, maestra Trujillo, maestro Sánchez y maestra Jiménez, me ayudan mucho. Yo llegué a la clase y no sabía mucho español, pero ahora sé mucho español, matemáticas y lectura. Gracias por ellos. Y esto es porque ser bilingüe es muy especial.
Good evening and buenas tardes. I've been teaching 11 years in this district, and 3 years ago I was approached with an opportunity to be in the dual language immersion program, and I respectfully declined because I know how hard it is to get something like this started. And I was teaching second grade. I was in my teaching second grade. I love second grade. I was in my comfort zone. But I wanted to grow, so I reconsidered, and I began teaching first grade dual language immersion, and it's been the best career decision I've made. So what we're doing in the classroom is obviously what was presented. Also, it goes beyond the classroom with connections that our students are making with their families. It's opening doors for them. So you'll get to see in the video as well that something special is happening here in Selma with this DLI, and I'm just honored to be part of it. So with that, without further ado, let's play the video. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanchez. We also have our other DLI teachers here, and of course, Principal Salcido supporting us, and our parent, Mr. Chavez. Thank you for being here. So we do want to showcase, we do have a very amazing video to show you guys, so we will do that right now to promote our our program. If it'll go.
I like writing the most and reading.
Why is that?
Because I love reading in 2 languages and I love writing in 2 languages.
I wish people would know that the dual language immersion program is an investment in their child's future. It is giving the child the gift of biliteracy, the gift of knowing the value and the beauty of diversity in other cultures and the different people that surround us.
What lens does it have?
Oh, there we go. Sorry. You good? Okay, technical difficulties.
I like writing the most and reading.
Why is that?
Because I love reading in 2 languages and I love writing in 2 languages.
I wish people would know that the dual language immersion program is an investment in their child's future. It is giving the child the gift of literacy, the gift of knowing the value and the beauty of diversity in other cultures and the different people that surround us.
What blends does it have?
BL.
And what sound do those make?
Blue.
Good job.
El valor de la inmersión dual es que estamos reconociendo el idioma que ellos ya traían como una habilidad muy valiosa que les va a poder ayudar en su futuro. Eso significa que ahorita en la escuela están desarrollando el idioma a otro nivel, que en otras escuelas no lo hay.
It really does open up their doors to not only exposure to different cultures, but also like the academic rigor, where they're reading, writing, and speaking into different languages. And it's not everyday vocabulary, it's academic vocabulary, and I know sometimes it's intimidating because it's rigorous, but they're able to do it.
Podría ser construir. ¿Es un verbo?
What biliteracy means is that students will be able to read, write, listen, and speak in both languages, but at proficient levels, meaning that they truly are biliterate. They can pick up a book, they can sit in a conversation, they can write a response in both languages fluently. We have many studies that have shown that students in dual language immersion are able to access different parts of the brain, which enables higher levels and deeper levels of academic achievement. So we're talking about 5th, 6th grade. That's when you start to see them attaining higher levels than their monolingual peers.
It feels good because I can help my dad talk English because he comes from Mexico and he only knows Spanish. Que puedo escuchar los dos idiomas porque tengo un amigo que solo habla español y ya tengo la confianza y sí de español.
Una de las cosas más bonitas que he visto en los alumnos es que sino que al estar en un grupo con el que han trabajado desde hace 3 grados hasta el día de hoy, les hace sentir que están con una familia. Y yo veo que hay muchos alumnos que les gusta compartir el conocimiento que ya tienen, les gusta apoyar y les gusta levantar a otros.
My students, they're very confident in almost anything they do. And I think it's because they're in a classroom sometimes when the teacher is reading or giving instructions in the language that they're still trying to learn, they learn to persevere.
The biggest difference I've seen comparing dual language immersion students and students that are in English-only classrooms is that level of confidence.
Yo a veces cuando estoy en la clase a mi maestra me dice quiero que hable más español y hablo más con ellos. Y en la familia hablo más inglés, pero también español porque mi abuela habla español más.
My students feel empowered and they feel valuable because now they appreciate and respect and they accept more languages, cultures, and identities. And that's what you have in dual immersion. You don't lose anything, you just acquire more.
And a huge thank to our teachers, Story Trujillo and Hilda Jimenez, the stars of the show. Love it. So at this point, if you have any questions.
I have to tell you that.
Yes.
I like writing.
There we go.
That program is very special to me. I also had my, Juliet's my granddaughter.
Oh.
And the other one, Alea Garcia, is also in the 2nd grade.
Oh.
And those of you who back there that have anything to do with dual immersion, stand and give you applause. You're doing a great job.
Yay. I do have to pass this around just so that you guys can see this medal. It's pretty cool.
So we wanted to bring to the board kind of one of the problems of practice we have is somewhat of a diminishing attendance component that's happening around the city to dual immersion. So this is a way of recouping, sending the information out to start bringing the awareness of dual immersion. My child is in dual immersion. She was in dual immersion PK. Now she's in dual immersion TK. And I know that I see the differences, so I appreciate the staff and the work you guys put into it. It's not easy to teach that, I'll tell you, so I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the program, and what we're hoping for is to not only bring awareness, we've done some surveying to see how many of the public want to bring their child into a dual immersion class. We noticed a lot do, so we got to configure here in the next year or so how we open up the program, because we like to continue to expand it.
Yeah, Dr. Diaz, you're doing an awesome job, and we love it. And because we were worried about our ADAs were going down, and with this dual emergence, that hopefully that a lot of parents don't have that kind of access. Now we do. So I wish these flyers goes not only to the all Selma community, well as the surrounding communities. So Fowler, Kingsburg, and also forth on it. So yeah, we really appreciate it, and best of luck. If there's anything we need from our board, let us know.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I'll add that we'll be sending out the video via Parent Square just to get the word out to our community as well.
Awesome.
It's a great, great program.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move in. We'll move into the approved MOU request with the West Ed, the math system of measurements project.
Yes, thank you. This item is a request to partner with West Ed to support the implementation of the Math Systems of Measurement project. This would be a 3-year partnership that will strengthen math instruction by providing real-time actionable feedback that will identify strengths, gaps, and improvement opportunities for us. It is geared to support 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as the progressions of math increase drastically at these grade levels. If approved, we would begin year 1 with coaching data analysis and development of measurement tools with staff. And this MOU, there is no fiscal impact on our behalf.
Is there a question from the board? If not, may I get a motion to accept this item?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second on it?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving into the facilities. The Procore software service agreement, Jessica.
Good evening. We have our Director of Facilities, Steve Fusey, to present this item.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we bring to you Procore software services. This software would be used for all of our projects here with the Selma Unified District. It will help us monitor and maintain accurate project data, essentials, a lot of things, all the way from comprehensive centralized platforms, managing all aspects of projects delivery. It will help us maintain and stay within our budget, expenditures, invoices, projected revenues, and single stream interface, significantly improving financial oversight and accountability. It has real-time tracking of projects, change orders, RFIs, CCDs. It helps manage and project timelines and milestones and be able to track them along the way. It also centralizes the document storage for projects via cloud. And the other thing is it's very compatible with all the people we're working with right now. Teeter, PBK, Marco, DMC, AMG, all use this software. Most architects and contractors do. When they were doing the pool project, AMG shared their license with us to view certain documents, which really made us a little more interested. We heard about this in CASH when we went to the conference this year, and we picked up on it. And since we went to CASH, we came back and we looked at a couple of different ones called ClickUp, Microsoft Project, and Smartsheets. And they all have certain points that are very good, but not a full package like the Procore one. We're also currently using Colby, But that's more of just a financial tracker, not so much pictures, photos, timelines, all the RFIs and everything else. So when we were looking into this, we're just trying to figure out ways so we're not going through some of the things we've gone through lately. Like, for instance, the pool that it was just redone. If we had Procore and we had all of our documentation in there, in 10, 15 years, if the pool has to be redone, you can look back at the blueprints, you can look back at anything that went on that was in question. You can see the change order for how the power was correctly installed. As I said, you could also look at all the different pictures, progress pictures from beginning throughout the project all the way to the end to completion. And once again, like I said, this is all backed up through iCloud. And so it would be the rights of the district, and then we would share it with the architects and stuff. Therefore, we would have all the files permanently. So 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, anybody from our district could go in and look back at the project tracking, see what went on, the timelines and everything. So you could try to set up your next project, or if there was a problem like we had with the electrical at the pool this time, we could go right into it, dig in and see what is there, and also be able to track that for everything else. And like I say, the main reason that we like it is it's a complete package for us compared to just the billing aspect. And the architects that we are currently working with and contractors, like I said, like Marco, Davis Moreno, AMG, they're all using it as well, and those are who most people are doing on our projects. As far as the cost, so the way they work the cost is they use it off of your revenue of what you're doing for projects. So we took our master facility plan and showed them what our projects are for the next year in the works. And they take a percentage off of that, and the way it worked out comes out to $11,000 for the first year for the annual, and that's based on the amount of projects we have. There's a $13,500 one-time training fee for us to get access to and learn the licensing and how to be the owner of the license and the software versus just being a user. And so it comes out to a total of $24,500 the first time. When we were using Colby, their initial startup was $25,000 and $15,000 a year. But like I said, that would only base upon the tracking of the budget and expenditures and stuff. So we're asking if we could proceed with Procore to help better track and keep track of everything that we have going on in all our projects and facilities.
Is there a question from the board? Oh,
Why is
Mark
everybody
has
always
it.
looking
Mark
at me
has
like it's
one. I know
technology?
he's laughing. So.
It's always something technological. Everybody just looks at me like. Okay, so I do have actually some questions. And you kind of hit the first one, which was the one-time fee. So you're saying that's, I'm trying to understand, it's training both as an admin and as a user, or is it?
It's training for the whole entire software, but because we would be the owner of the licensing, they would teach us how to share it with people. So say like the contractor, you're only sharing certain things with them. The district, you're sharing certain things. The architect has certain departments. And like I say, the reason you share it with everybody is so RFI comes in. Once he hits send, it automatically goes to the architect and to the district to read. So it's gonna help save a bunch of time too, versus right now, somebody will send it to the architect. They send us an email, we get it, we print it, we take it to get it approved or signed or whatever, and then goes back. This will be all like online signing. So it will just go from person to person to person to speed up the process to try to help from slowing down the project.
Okay. So the other question I had was on the data retention, because you said it comes with the storage. How much storage is that coming with? Is it unlimited compared to whatever our projects need, or is it a finite amount that if we hit it, we have to pay more?
From what I understand, it is unlimited because they know the projects, and this has been going on, this software's been in circulation for a while now. So there's some projects that have a lot more detail than others. For instance, if you're building a brand new campus, you're gonna have a lot of storage versus just one building or whatever. And when we talk to them about that aspect, it's just the storage is there, but we also have the backup whenever we need to pull it.
Yeah, because I know there's drawings, CAD drawings, photos, stuff like that. They're going to take a lot of space really fast.
Yeah.
That's kind of, because I didn't see it on this memo, on this outlay that's showing what's in there. I just show the subscription fees and I show the training fee. but I don't see anything on the space for retention and how long they're going to keep those on, how long the retention policy is
So
on
as
the
long
data
as-
that they're holding.
As long as we keep renewing each year, we will have access to all our files and everything all the way back.
So it'll go as far back as we need them to go to from the day we started to
From the
like-
day we start, as long as we keep renewing every year, yes.
Are you saying if we don't renew, we won't have access?
Well, we're hoping to use this for future too, so we have proper documentation of everything so we could fall back on it.
Okay. But what I'm asking is we have to keep renewing in order to have access.
Yes, which we were already with Colby, so we renewed that every year, but like I said, that was only on the financing side.
But you would still have the information during the time you paid for the service. You have access and ability to retrieve all of those old documents. They don't, I think that's what you were asking.
You can
Oh, I'm
still do the
sorry.
backup on it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there any other questions from the board?
No, I'm good.
All right, if there's no other questions, may I get a motion to accept this item?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right, motion carries. Moving into SGH Architects, ASR number 1 for Jackson and Roosevelt walk-in cooler freezers.
So this project started out a couple years ago, and it started out just being walk-in cool boxes and freezers for Jackson and Roosevelt. And as we started the project, as we were proceeding with it, we then found out we were going to replace an oven at Jackson. And when we did, we were going to have to do some power changes to accommodate the oven. So when that happened, it drew up the red flag for DSA to get involved. And when DSA got involved, they started looking it over and they said, this is a total different scope of work than the original. So we can't have the two projects together, but we could still proceed with the walk-ins. Unfortunately, now that it was taken to DSA, they got involved on the two walk-ins. And so the original contract before it went to DSA and everything was set in stone and approved by the district. I don't remember the exact date. I think it was 2 years ago when we started this to go into contract with them. In the meantime, when it went to DSA, there's a couple different things that went wrong. At Jackson Elementary, the path of travel needs improvements from the parking lot to the walk-in freezers and coolers. The drop-off additions, improvements for the ADA compliance, and additional topographic survey field confirmation related to the DSA ADA requirements. And it also has in there for fire sprinkler designs. So when this was originally drawn up, there was covers covering the walk-ins to try to help with heat and weather. And so where it was drawn in place, it's less than 20 foot from the existing building, which means you gotta have fire safety sprinklers in it. So as we found this out after it came back to us, we're working with the architects now that it's free and clear, and we're gonna try to put an addendum in to push the location more than 20 feet back so that that way we should be exempt from the fire safety sprinklers because it's only a cover just to protect it from weather. So that was part of that one, and that charge for the walkway, because there's a lot of different things they gotta do, was $50,600 for Jackson. And this is, again, once again, I'm sorry, this is for the scope of work that changed. It's above and beyond what our original contract was because of the DSA requirements in order to let this project proceed. At Roosevelt Elementary, the path of travel improvements were the same way from the parking lot to the area. There's the 2 staff restrooms that are inside Roosevelt will have to be demoed and turned into 1 ADA compliant to meet DSA standards. And then the additional topographic survey field confirmation related to DSA requirements. So their charges are for all the extra work they had to put in through the drawings and different things to get this to pass through DSA to continue the project. As far as the oven goes, we're gonna work that out, and we're trying to put a second phase to this together. There will be an oven, a couple dishwashers, and a hood system just for Jackson. We're working with architects right now, separate than SGH. We're using one of our architects we're using now to draw that up for us to see what it would cost us to finish that second part of the project, since DSA would not let us include the oven and hood with this one. So what we're asking for tonight is the approval for the total of $84,100 for SGH architectural firms for their extra work to get this project through DSA to continue going with the project.
So this is just for the walk-in coolers, not the actual stoves. That's going to be.
This is just the walk-ins and the additions we had to do in order to proceed with the project for the cooler and the freezers.
Now, does this job have to go to rebid? This is just for the architectural services, correct?
We've already, no, so this is just for the architectural, just for their services. We are out to bid right now and have a job walk next week to look at the total project, what construction costs would cost for it.
And these changes are incorporated into that?
Incorporated in that, yeah. Because we had to have the DSA approval before we could go out to bid.
Gotcha, okay.
You know, I mean, I know I went on the board for a while. This project, Jackson's back and forth on it, on the kitchen and so much forth. This architect, did we compare this cost, this $84,000 with another architect, that what he was charging just for designing this stuff? Or we just went with them?
I'm not sure how this architect was chosen a couple of years ago.
So yeah, you're right. We've had a lot of going back and forth over the years with this particular architect on this project. Some of it were owner changes that we wanted to add and modify, but a lot of it had to deal with SGH. Unfortunately, we were unable to go with another architect because we're too far gone into the DSA process with SGH. You know, another architect at this time would then have to take ownership of what they've done so far, and a lot may not want to do that to take on the risk of what they've, of the work they've done. And so we've explored all of those different options, and so this is the best way to kind of conclude the work with SGH, and then again look at another architect to do the second phase and get these kitchens ready for school.
Yeah, I mean, being as an architect, my firm too, you know, we have a lot of experience. When you do the walk-in coolers, kitchen design, you got to have AD accessibility to the bathrooms. That should be common. You should have them catch them way back. Doesn't matter DSA look at it or not. Kind of surprised me, but I'm okay. But I'm just saying they should have caught them in the middle, in the beginning, and these kind of costs are a lot in because they already have design. It's not that much, you know. So I know how the fees they're charging, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we went out for RFQ for a reason a while back when we were looking at doing our next projects, and this is one of the reasons. But like I say, we're just, as Jessica said, we're just trying to get this one through. We're invested so much in it already. If we were to switch, we'd almost be double what we're in. Plus, nobody wants to accept somebody else's drawings because then they have to answer for the headaches that's missed, and it's not even their own stuff. So we're trying to get this one closed out. Like I say, we're going to go out to bid, or we're out to bid. We're doing the job walk next week. Then we'll hopefully bring the bids back to you for our June 10th board meeting. And then we could get started on this one and hopefully have this real close to being wrapped up by Christmas break, this portion of it. And then we're also working with another architect we'll be hopefully bringing to you either June 10th or June 24th for the second phase, which would be the hood, the dishwashers, and the oven.
Yeah.
So to understand this, the $84,100 is going to SGH Architects.
Yes.
That's what's being proposed to redo these drawings because DSA went in there and said, hey, this isn't matching what it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be some ADA compliance and some other stuff, which the SGH architect should have probably figured out in the beginning. Am I summarizing that
It's
correctly?
only because the plan was not to go to DSA. They were just going to put the coolers in because at Roosevelt they're replacing them. The other one is new install, but it's, you know, kind of mock for mock on each one of them. But because we brought the oven into the picture, that's when DSA got involved and went back and did plan checks and found the problems.
Okay,
So the scope grew. When we first engaged with SGH, the ovens were not a part of the conversation, and so they didn't think they'd have to incorporate all of the requirements that DSA includes. And then as the scope grew, then DSA got involved, and that's when the ADA and everything got introduced, and there was more scope added to their architectural work.
So in normal English terms, they were going to replace one thing with another the same size, same
Like for
thing
like,
as
uh-huh.
like for like, and just put it in there, no harm, no foul. But then someone decided, hey, let's put a stove, and that just totally threw it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Ah. Okay, that makes sense now.
So when is it an estimated time of when this project is gonna be completed?
We're hoping right around Christmas break is
For
what we're
this
shooting
phase.
for this phase.
And that will be just this?
This will be the walk-ins.
And then we'll do a second phase with the ovens and dishwashers.
And hopefully it will be close to the same timeline because these are outside and the other work will be inside.
Yeah.
So they won't be walking on top of each other.
All right, is there any other questions? I'm a little bit disappointed on this because we bought a portable kitchen for the Jackson and all that stuff. And these guys, architects, should know that in the beginning. And I think this is so much, but we gotta go with it, like you said, the schedule. But we need to be careful on it when we putting all those money, and we wanna make sure, you know, what we get with the money, you know?
Yes, well,
Yeah, so what we're also incorporating when a project gets off the ground is ensuring that we go through with the different program leaders to make sure that we have the scope dialed in before we even engage into an agreement with an architect. I think was probably the missing link, whereas we're building it as we're, you know, we're flying it as we're building it, and that's kind of where things like this happen. So we are making that change to our process to make sure that we have the scope detailed and accurate before we engage into a contract with an architect. So we are making those changes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this item? Is there a motion you want to put on?
Motion to accept that.
I'll make a motion to accept this item. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All favors say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Business service, MGT, proposal for camera for transportation and maintenance yard.
Thank you. So the Maintenance and Operations Department is relocating over to the transportation yard, and as a result, we are needing to add more cameras to the area. We're expanding our white fleet. We're having equipment out there, and so there's a lot of blind spots as it is currently. So we have to add some cameras out there to address some of the blind spots that are at the transportation yard. And in addition to that, taking advantage to upgrade the existing system that's at transportation to make it all seamless with the system we have throughout the district. And so this is just a request for additional cameras that'll cost $29,654 with an ongoing subscription cost of $3,493 annually.
All right, is there questions? I'm pretty sure Mark probably has one. He's IT guy.
I was going to ask one of Mark.
Yes.
And
Oh, here he comes.
He's prepared for it.
Mr. Mark Bautista, Director of Technology. Will you please assist me with whatever questions Mark has?
Yes, esteemed board, President Sahota, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me.
So I'm looking at this, the quote, and you know the pricing on the camera is about right for what's being asked here. The thing is on the subscription part, and I'm wondering why we couldn't go with something like a Unify system where we don't have the recurring licensing and still go with the cameras. It would be about the same price.
So these cameras, it's agnostic system. We won a grant, the COPS grant, several years ago, and this is the system we went with. So what made this system attractive was that we can onboard our older cameras and add them to our existing system. So with how this works, you're not relying on an on-prem server. It's all hosted on the cloud, so less equipment cost in our data center. So that's where the subscription is. You either pay the subscription for the server to house, or you paid it in the cloud, so it evens out at the end.
I'm sorry, I'm just calculating stuff in my head.
Oh, okay.
Did you say
Fairly
that
close.
there were, excuse me, did you want to finish?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Did you say you're replacing the ones in transportation or upgrading them?
Upgrading.
Upgrading
So
them.
the system that was there beforehand was outdated, and so now that we're adding, we're just wanting to make it, or take that opportunity to upgrade what's already there.
So it's standardizing the cameras that we use typically throughout the district. And we're going with multicam sensors, which require less infrastructure and cover a wider area. So we're able to cover a larger field of view, requiring less infrastructure.
So on this, it's also including the storage for video retention?
Yes.
And they're giving us an adequate amount of storage?
We're at 45 days right now.
And nope, got that answered there. Yeah, looks about right. Oh, and what's the SLA for if there's a down on their cloud connection?
It's a 5999, 99.9%. So it's a 5999.
Okay.
All right.
Is that good?
Is that good, Mark?
So a 5999 is like your SLA's within a couple minutes. So everything in the cloud's backed up to backed up. So it beats being on the prem. The only thing we're going to experience is if we don't have any internet here, we'd have to go through a hotspot to view our cameras.
All right.
And we'll have redundancy for that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
All right, Mark, thank you for the
Thank you.
details.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Mark. I would have not been able to answer that.
Yeah, is there a motion to accept this
I know.
I'll
item?
make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right, we are moving into the human resources. Approve the job description of grant-funded community school coordinator, replacing the current outside consultant of a community school grant. Physical impact is 93,000. Funding sources community school grant.
Yeah, so currently Selma Unified School District has a community schools grant that is funded by the state of California. The grant is overseen by Dr. Deal, our Director of Pupil Services, and also works very closely with an outside consultant who helps write the grant and does the evaluation. The grant pays for the consultant to update the plan, review budgets, evaluate the plan, and work with outside groups on behalf of Selma Unified concerning the grant. The district would like to move forward with transforming this transferring the responsibilities from the outside evaluator, consultant, and using an internal person, Dr. David Deal, as for that position of coordinator of community schools grant. Position would be an internal position that would oversee the grant, funding and budgeting of the grant, supervision and training of staff, ensure all aspects of the grant are being met. The coordinator of community schools grant will work closely with the coordinator of migrant and parent education to conduct parent and community outreach and provide resources to schools, parents, and families. We've attached a job description that outlines the responsibility of the coordinator of community schools grant. And so we're asking for this to be approved.
Is there questions from the board?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I don't have.
Kessler, Ms. Kessler, go
Go
first.
ahead. Okay, I'd like to table this. I don't know if it's to discuss further in the future. I don't know if that requires a motion or just table it.
It doesn't need a motion for it.
It does require? Okay, then I move that we table this for.
I
future.
second that motion to table the item.
All right, we'll vote individually. Mr. Medina, yes or no?
It might be wise to table it.
Huh?
It might be wise, yes.
Okay. And Mr. Fedor?
Yes.
And you guys are yes, and Ms. Castro yes, and myself is yes. So we'll discuss on table out in a closed session. All right, we'll move into the approved MOU with the California Nurse Organizations.
Yeah, so this is an MOU with the California School Nurses Organization to provide training for one of our school nurses. And behind this training that they do, they're looking to increase the number of fully credentialed school nurses in the state of California. This MOU will allow one of our Selma Unified School nurses to complete their credential while being fully employed by the district. Training would be virtual, so they would be at work, and then the training, there is no cost to send them away to training. So one of our certificate school nurses needs to have a clear credential, and the High Road training program will allow our employee to work full-time, take the courses virtually to complete the program, and continue to work full-time in our schools providing services to our students. Excuse me. There are no additional costs to the district, and we're seeking approval of this MOU.
Is there a question from the board?
Make a motion to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, we move into the approval of superintendent's employment contract and salary schedule.
I believe this item needs to be tabled until after a closed session.
Oh, okay. All right, then eliminate the adult school facilitators positions and create adult school academics counselor positions. Physical impact is $26,549. Funding source is adult school.
Yes, so working with the adult school program, currently the adult school has a facilitator position. This is an administrator who works 4 hours, 4 nights per week. The facilitator position provides supervision of staff and students in the program. The facilitator provides that supervision but does not have the appropriate credential, PPS, that's the Pupil Personnel Services, to provide academic, career, and socio-emotional counseling. We've asked for Yolanda Jimenez-Reese, Director of Alternative Education, to speak further about this item.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Good evening, Board President, members of
Good
the
evening.
Board, Cabinet, and Superintendent Gomes. This evening, we request support for the converting of the facilitator teacher position at Selma Adult School to be a part-time school counselor position. This person would hold a pupil personnel credential and strengthen the transitions from Selma High School to our adult school and beyond. I have provided for you a document just to help guide you through. There's some talking points there that I will be going through. Currently, we have limited to no academic counseling support, the matriculation process for college or university, transcript analysis, again, limited to no, or alignment to the high school counselors here at Selma High School. As a result, we have scheduling and transcript issues, a lack of program persistence, and limited follow-up, inconsistent transition support to college or university, inconsistent support with applying for financial aid. We are looking for support for our adult learners. In this support would include academic guidance and continued education, mental health and stress management, instructional success strategies, as well as career exploration, also aligned to our high school. As a result of this approval, we would have transcript review and evaluation by a counselor, college and career planning for our adult learners, support with personal and academic needs, as well as counseling alignment secondary through adult school. Something to consider, some additional considerations for you are the counseling schedule would need to be flexed with our current site admin. And then in addition to, before I processed this
proposal for today, Kings Canyon Unified is also wanting to discuss a partnership, so maybe a 50-50 counselor between Kings Canyon Unified and Selma Unified. So it would be a share of cost. And then finally, this cost of the current facilitator or future academic counselor would not come from K-12 funding. This is coming from adult funding that would only be used and can only be used for adults. Our adult schools right now are counseled and monitored through State Center Adult School Consortium. Through the newest, very, very large document, so I didn't print it for you, but I can get it for you. It's their goals for 25, it's their 3-year goals from 25 through 28. And throughout these goals, they are also making the recommendation for our adult schools to be inclusive of counselors to help support. Currently, 29% of adult school students, so our adult learners, are seeing a counselor. It's really by the 3 districts, Central, Clovis, and Fresno. Those are the ones that have adult school counselors. So as we are looking to further expand, we are asking for your support in helping us to push through and advocate for a counselor. Again, we understand a full-time counselor probably we cannot afford, but a part-time counselor or a shared counselor is definitely attainable.
You know what, when I was reading this, it didn't come across as being part-time.
Oh.
And
Oh.
so that kind of concerned me as well. And is there, of all the adult school students, how many would you say are needing counseling for higher education or going into whatever?
All of them should be seeing
be
a
there.
counselor. Yeah, all of them. So I can share with you that the consortium provides a transition specialist. And we've had our number from today, and I have Mrs. Parker behind me for additional support, so tell me if I'm wrong. Through the adult school, we've had over 600 adults come through. The transition specialist is there part-time. He's only there once a week, and then he's shared with multiple small districts. So this particular person has only seen a little bit over 100 of our 600 students who have come through. So there's definitely a need.
So this is how it's being handled today?
That's how it's being handled today,
And when
yes.
you compare us to Central and Fresno Unified, those are much, much bigger
They are,
districts
they are, and they
than
have
we are.
full-time counselors. They do have full-time counselors.
So, so I had many more questions, but if anybody else wants to ask. go ahead.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
I do. Just a point of clarification where it says our adult schools in the Valley are counseled and monitored by State Center Adult Schools. So this individual, if we, created this position, would they be contracted through Selma Unified or through the consortium?
No, they would be contracted through, the facilitator position is ours. And so that's why we're asking for the elimination of that position, and then this position is ours. So currently we're paying about $50,000 for the facilitator position. So we would be taking that $50,000 and putting it toward a counselor.
And the counselor, would they be full-time? Would they have benefits?
Yeah, it would be, they would not be full-time. We cannot
They would
afford
not be
full-time.
full-time.
They would not be full-time. They would be part-time for
Part-time,
us.
And no
Mhm.
benefits?
They're looking at a 60% position, so there would be minimal. So unlike a full-time teacher or employee administrator, they would not be given a full benefit package. It would be a minimal package that they could then, the majority of the cost would be passed on to the employee. If we were able to jointly with Kings Canyon hiring this person, so it'd be a 50%, then again, all costs would be split equally between the 2 districts.
So the additional cost includes the 60% benefits?
It would be 60% of the salary plus the cost of the benefits.
What would be the cost be of the part-time person, everything included, to us?
So currently, you're looking at the full cost for the employee. The facilitator is listed. There's not a benefit package there. So you're looking at the cost of this position, increase of $26,000 for salary, and benefits would roughly be another $10,000. That would be all the statutory benefits and the health benefits.
So about 36,000
You can
on
say,
top of the.
on top of that, yes.
And that 36,000 would be covered through adult school funding.
That is correct also.
And if we partner with Kings Canyon, it's not guaranteed yet, they just have interest, then we would split that 36,000 or the.
So most likely, we would, according to what the MOU is between the two districts, but let's say this person becomes then a full-time position, we would be covering half the costs. So it's roughly the same to maybe even less than what this is, as 50% actually would be less because they would get full benefits, yes. But again, Kings Canyon would be covering half of all cost.
So we're currently paying $50,000 for a facilitator?
For a facilitator, so it's just only their supervisor.
So this 36 we're talking about, is that on top of the 50?
Yes.
That is correct.
That's for a part-time
So
person.
the fiscal impact, according to what the memo stating, the memo stating is about 75,000. That's what I'm looking at on the attachment.
Yes.
So, yes.
That is correct.
So a couple of questions I have is, one, what is a PPS credential? Why?
It's a pupil personnel credential,
Okay.
and it allows you to work K-12, and it's a counselor certification. So they have a credential to counsel students. And so we want that because we want the alignment with our high school, and we want them to know how to counsel, because many of the students that are transitioning over, they're having to read high school transcripts, and right now our transcripts are being read by teachers and classified staff.
Okay, so now this is for the adult school.
Correct.
So students above 18.
Correct.
So might be a dumb question, but why would the PPS credential be needed for somebody to look at stuff for a student above 18?
That's a great question, because the courses that they've taken and the courses that they are still taking are high school courses. There's a diploma program course, and then for our ESL students, many of them are jumping into the diploma program, and so that diploma is just as equal to those diplomas that are given in the high school.
So this particular credential wouldn't necessarily mean that they're able to do these things that we are lacking, the transcript analysis and the scheduling transcript. To eliminate that credential itself doesn't mean these people are trained in how to correct that. It's just a credential to deal with K through 12 information.
Many of them are trained to be able to read the transcript. That is what they do on a day-to-day basis, so that they can determine what the next course sequence in course is. And so once again, the alignment that we would want from the high school, from secondary all the way through, is that we have a credentialed person that is able to evaluate transcripts and place students appropriately.
And how many hours per week are we planning on having this person if we were to do this?
Thank you, yeah. That's going to be contingent on whether or not we partner with another district or take on a 50% or 60% employee. That will just determine the days.
So right now, as far as I understand, okay, I won't speak for anybody else but myself. If we're looking at fiscal impact of 75,000, we don't know how many hours per se this person is going to be there every week, because we don't know if we're sharing that cost with another district, which brings up more questions like, well, who's primarily the first line on the signature line? Who's taking responsibility for the position? It sounds like it's us.
Well, it would definitely be an MOU that would need to be brought together between both districts with much clarity. We don't move forward on anything like that without a memorandum of understanding and an agreement with legal counsel and so on and so forth.
So I'll take the safe route and assume we're taking the whole bit. It's 100% our person, and they're working in our facility. At that point, what are we looking at in hours? If this is going to be our own, nobody else, we're not sharing this person with anybody.
Yeah, it could be 3 days that they are with us.
So 24 hours a week.
Correct.
All right.
Versus the 1 day we have now.
Versus, yeah, the one day that we have, and it's not a full day.
Okay, Stella has first question. One question.
Well, my question, I think at this point,
You.
I don't know that I'm comfortable moving forward and saying yes when we don't know whether or not they're going to be our full-time or whether we're going to share with another district. Now, if another district wants to partner, great, then come back with that proposal. If they don't, then revisit it, knowing exactly how much we would have to pay.
So, if I could add, this would look, right now, we're looking at a 60% position. So what we're bringing to the board is only a 60% position.
Okay, only a 60%.
It would not, so we would have to come back to the board with an MOU and with all the numbers of what the cost would be for our district and Kings Canyon Unified if we were going to have an MOU with them, and it'd have to be approved by this board. So if the board said, no, we don't want to share the person, then they would stay at 60%. They would not go to 100% unless this board approved that.
Correct.
I have one more thing. Should this pass, will there be any displacement of anybody because of this position at that school? Of any position, other positions?
No, our current facilitator is retiring from the district, and so there is nobody in that position. And so that would, eliminating it, we're just kind of flipping that position from the facilitator to a counselor. So there is no replacement of any administrator, certificated, or classified staff.
All right. Is there any other questions? May I get a motion to accept this item? I make a motion to accept this item as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody oppose?
I oppose. I do too.
Okay, Mark?
I think it'd be wise to table it so we can get an MOU. I like to see all the figures on the table before we decide.
Well, there's already a motion and second,
I know.
so.
And then I'm gonna have to go no.
Say no?
I said no.
All right.
Okay.
All right. There's a 3 no's and 2 yes. We're gonna move into item 5. Annual declaration of the need for fully qualified educator for the school year 25 and 26.
On this item, so each year Human Resources does bring forth to the board our annual declaration for the need of fully qualified educators. This annual declaration of need is a form that we, at each school district submits to the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing. This declaration is a prerequisite for the issuance of emergency and limited assignment permits from CTC. It estimates the number of fully qualified educators needed for the upcoming school year based on factors like previous needs and projected enrollment. We are seeking your approval to submit this declaration to the CTC for the 25-26 school year.
All right, is there a question from board?
I'm just looking over the numbers. On the paperwork where it says science, biological sciences, it's a small number 1. Is that just a number 1, or is that supposed to be some?
So we look at positions. If we do not put a number down, so like you see special ed, science, so if we put 0, because right now we do not have any openings, but we put a 0 there is our expected, and we ended up needing to hire a science teacher on an emergency or limited permit, we would not be able to. So some of the numbers, all districts kind of bump them up by a few, just in case we need to look at the hiring of those as emergency, intern and conditional permits.
All right.
So in the total of 28, that's 28 total everything?
Correct.
That's what we're looking
And
at?
So with the 28, if we just put one in each and all of a sudden we needed 2 in an area, we could not apply for that type of credential for the individual. So it's kind of a guessing game, but we're always wanting to hire fully credentialed and the best quality candidates that we can find.
And this is taking into account our, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but I just want to make sure. So looking at 28, this is taking into account how many teachers we're going to have retiring, how much students we're going to have coming in. That's all taken into account, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know my questions.
Okay, is there any other questions?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second on it?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right, moving into the consent agenda. Item under the consent agendas are considered to be routine and are acted on the board by trustee in one motion. There's no discussion of these items before the board unless the member of the board staff or public request specific items be discussed and or removed from the consent agenda. It is understood that administration recommended approval on all consent items, and each item of a consent agenda is approved by the member of the governing board shall be deemed to be when considered in a full adopted as recommended. Any questions on the consent agenda?
I would like to pull 1B.
1B? All right, is there any other items that other board members like to pull? If not, we will board the left of the rest of the items. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, except item 1B?
I'll make a,
Oh, go for it.
go ahead, Mark.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right, item 1B,
I just have someone on there that's
okay.
a relative, that's all.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can't vote on it,
All right, so may I get a motion for item 1B, excluding the Estella?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
Okay.
second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and your motion remain abstain.
whatever you want to call it.
Abstain. All right, board reports. We start with Mr. Medina.
All right, so I'm trying to remember what I did the past few weeks. I actually went to Sacramento for a delegates meeting for the California School Board Association. It was a nice trip, a lot of information, an exceedingly large amount of information, an exceedingly small amount of time. I got to meet a lot of people from a lot of different districts around the state, some with bigger districts than ours, some with smaller ones. It was a little bit of, for those of you out there in TV land or in YouTube land, so part of the job of being a board member is that we have to vote on things that come across us, come across the board, stuff that the administrative gives us, stuff that comes down from the state, and we make decisions on that based upon what we feel is best for the district. The delegate side is kind of the other side of the coin. You're there to help push policy or look at policy and advocate for policy that would be better for, for the students and for the school districts in general. So it's kind of the other aspect of what goes on in governance. And so it's a fascinating side. It's a lot of information. There's a lot that goes on. We've talked about a lot of different things from AI to cell phones to a whole bunch of other stuff. But in the end, it's fascinating. And it's a whole different ballgame. Aside from that, got to go to the adult school graduation. Got in there just in time, got off work, got down there, and got to see a lot of our adult school graduates. That was neat to see. A lot of people who went back to school, and for some people it's very hard. You're working full time or you got grandkids, and they do it because it's good for them. It's a good example set for their children and grandchildren, and it means a lot more than some people actually know. So if you are thinking about going back to school because you, for some reason, didn't get to complete, it's never too late. Do it. you'll be proud of yourself when you get it done, and your family will be proud of you as well. So that's my report.
All right, thank you. And Mrs. Dorte?
I don't have a report, but I'd like to just go back to the possibility of our school board workshops, if we
Okay.
can consider dates for those.
Yeah.
Because we only have a couple more board meetings, and I know that we're before, the beginning of the new school year, but I would like to propose maybe late July.
Yeah.
To have those two, and the topics I would like us to consider talking about. Because as I've been attending the MIG training, I've seen in all of the training a board year-at-a-glance calendar. So just a topic of discussion, if that's something maybe we could consider. The second one, I'd like to discuss, again, just point of discussion, the superintendent evaluation process that we use. And then the others are revisiting our board self-evaluation, because I know we ran out of time during that workshop, and board committees as a point of discussion.
Yeah, seems like we had to put them in a couple of workshops, a lot of topics. So we will just discuss president and also with the superintendent. We'll come up with the schedule.
Yep.
Right?
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all.
All right.
Again, just points of
Thank you.
discussion for
No,
consideration.
thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Kessler?
Oh, my turn?
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hey, thank you. It was the microphone, not me. Anyways, I've been a little bit out of commission, but I've started up again. So I started off with attending a very nice retirement party for Desiree McDougall, kindergarten teacher, adult school teacher, wonderful human being. And lots and lots of people. Stella was there, Joel was there. It was just a very nice event. And I wish her nothing but the best in her retirement and in Italy, where she's going to be headed off to. And I too attended the adult school graduation. Is one of my favorite graduations of all time. As Mark said, the people work hard. They work hard for it, and it's quite an accomplishment. And I attended the classified employee breakfast. It was nice to see old friends again that I hadn't seen in a long time, and see new faces. There's a lot of new faces now that I don't know, but it was nice to see some old faces. Not old faces. That sounds bad. Old friends of mine that I've known for a long time. So anyways, that was a very nice breakfast. And this morning I got up. I went to watch Heartland play mushball. It was a beautiful morning sitting out here at Schaefer Park and watching a ball game and watching from the side, watching you guys work while I was watching the game. And that is it. That's all I have.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fedor?
Yeah, okay, here we go. So I got to go to, and Estella, you were there, the baseball tournament.
I forgot.
It's all right, I got you, man, I got you. We were at both the baseball tournament one day and the softball tournament.
That's when I had,
You were,
that's why I forgot.
you were doing good. That was fun to watch those kids. It was neat to see everybody involved, working together. I did also go to Desiree's retirement. That was awesome. You're right, amazing human being. I can't say my favorite graduation because that's like saying your favorite kid. You can't do that, but you can say.
I said one of.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't. It's my favorite adult school graduation.
Awesome.
It's
politically correct.
It's really neat to see those people who have taken time out of their lives to go back to school to get this thing. I got to talk to one gentleman and his wife and daughters. Got to watch him do that. So what a neat deal. So proud of him, proud of all the graduates across the board, right? Got to go to the classified breakfast, see some retirements, and what a neat deal. I do want to say congratulations to school year. We did it, to all of our graduates, to across the board, to all of our graduates and their families. Thank you for all the hard work you all have done, our staff, everybody. It's amazing. And I do want to brag a little bit. I feel like Nate up here right now. But we got 3 football players on the all-star team. right? More than any surrounding area, just kind of bragging a little bit. And, you know, a friend of mine from a different town actually brought this up yesterday. I was talking to him about KK DeMint. Huh? So Selma's doing some awesome things. We've got a lot of stuff to be proud of. So keep going, guys. It's awesome. It's all yours.
Yeah, no, thanks for and your speech was awesome on the Jeter. That was amazing, and that was really nice to hear from you. Far as from my side, I attended FFA banquet and a adult school graduation too. And you know, one thing I need to say on FFA, we do need to be improved on FFA. I like to see our student involvements more, and especially hands on the projects. I hope Mr. Lane's taking notes, and we need to work on it. We need to do a little more. Kids needs to get better on it, and on farms or animals, whatever. We need to improve on it, and that's all about from me. And also, I like to congratulations to those students getting, the graduating from high school diploma. Best of luck, and in their future. Thank you. It's your turn.
All right, thank you. You guys stole the thunder on some of these because I had them here, but that was great that you guys shared it out. Thank you. Well, I hope everyone had a nice Memorial Day weekend. If you happen to drive by Selma Cemetery, you might have noticed American flags placed at veteran grave sites. Those were placed by Roosevelt Elementary's 4th grade students as part of a special annual tradition. Students learn how to identify veteran graves, practice proper cemetery etiquette, and respectfully place the flags. A big thank you to the Roosevelt team. We celebrated our classified staff. Again, thank you guys for all being there. It was a great breakfast, some amazing retirees, 51 years on one of our retirees, just absolutely amazing. Thank you all for being there, and we hope to have more great celebrations like that for our employees in the future. And students have officially wrapped up their CAS state assessments. It's been week after week of assessment, a lot of work on them and those proctoring. And now it's time to celebrate their hard work. Those who qualified enjoy a trip to Selma Cinema as a reward for showing up on time, putting in great effort, and using testing strategies. Our 11th grade students will be heading out to the movies tomorrow to start it off with junior high and elementary following. So good luck to all of them, and good luck to all our graduates coming up here very soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for attending this.
I'm sorry, I have
meeting.
one more.
Oh, go for it.
No. As you guys might look over here, we have an exciting update on the Selma High pool renovation.
Oh, yeah.
It's now completed and filled with over 530,000 gallons of water. Last Thursday, water polo and swim teams were the first to jump in, and a Selma Aqua Bears youth swim group has also kicked off their season with practices already underway and swim meets beginning in mid-June. The pool is fully operational, crystal clear water, working heaters, handicap lift, lane lines, showers, ladders, all in place and looking great, and plus more. The water has been a consistent 79 degrees, perfect for swimmers, and we'll be scheduling a tour for us on the last board meeting in June. We'll all end the board meeting like this, and we'll all walk out there. He's going to have all the lights on for us so we can kind of see. Really neat work they've done, all that.
Randy wants us to wear flip-flops because he wants you to put your feet in the water.
Yeah, no. I know he does. Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right, that was great. And once again, thank you attending the meetings, and have a great rest of the week. And once again, congratulations that students are finishing high school diploma. And good luck and good night. And we'll go back into the closed session now.
They gave me